all are there?
Huh?
Who all are there?
In
Prachi
the
is there
meeting? Yeah,
today?
Prachi is here. Say hi, Prachi. I think
Prachi, hi. Okay, I've not gone to check out who all are there. Okay.
on the phone it only shows the
Okay.
speaker.
The three of us there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me just share the screen. I'm opening the recording. Anything from yesterday? Do you want to ask or say anything before we start?
There was. हाँ नहीं खाना है और फिर नहीं खाना वो तो खाए वो है ना खिचड़ी हाँ sorry you can hear me
हाँ
अच्छा am I right long time back somewhere I mean again and again it has come up or recently it came out, I don't know when, but it came up when he said that my mind used to keep running around idhar udhar and this and that and I couldn't understand anything till I achieved samadhi.
Yeah. So
Right?
he said कि हाँ ऊट पटांग ख्याल समाधि
हाँ.
तक आते थे.
So then हमारा भी ऐसे ही होगा या नहीं? Does it mean we have to reach samadhi?
So he's saying,
हाँ.
so he went through samadhi. So at the point of samadhi, he didn't have any silly thoughts. But even after samadhi, after understanding, again now he's out of that state of samadhi. Samadhi was a state of muteness.
While
basically.
in samadhi, okay, while in samadhi, he didn't have thoughts, but while he was living a life where samadhi would come and go, he kept on having a church.
No, so whenever he would come out of samadhi, the thoughts would be back. When he would go into samadhi, well, what happens in samadhi is that there are no thoughts only. It's a state of complete muteness. So therefore, there are no thoughts. Therefore, there are no silly thoughts.
Nothing to report.
That's not how we live. Yeah, nothing to report, nothing good, nothing bad. But what we want is to have regulated and balanced and good thoughts while living.
Not
we don't
below
want
the level of thought, but you ought to be above the level of.
Yes, above the level of thought for sure, and also that thoughts should be regulated in that life. So that is our goal. But the way he went through it, he went through that quiet phase first because that's what tradition had told him to try out first. But he found that they can be regulated even after samadhi, even in the state of non-muteness. But that happens through understanding. So until understanding, unless we decide to go for samadhi or something, until understanding, even our thoughts will remain silly and out of our control. It is only in the light of understanding that our thoughts get regulated. These things. So that is the other method for regulating your thoughts, the more accessible, the more general method of education and understanding.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay, so yesterday he was talking about the fact that as soon as you realize that, we are stuck somewhere, we want to live well, we want to live happily with other humans and with nature, and that we haven't been able to do that, and that the current traditions also provide no evidence for the assurances of how to achieve that, then we open up a new path for each of us, which is to explore and inquire into the solution for this desire of ours to be able to live harmoniously with other humans and harmoniously with the rest of nature. And that is how it was for him as well. He could not find any stable basis or evidence to support the faith that was advocated in tradition, whether it was through the regular education system or the traditional belief systems from his particular family, the group that his family belongs to. So neither of those could satisfy him in terms of evidence. So he started looking for his own answers, and that's how he came about these. And he's saying, similarly, all of us would, upon realizing that we need solutions, since all of us have this ability to think, we are thinking beings, we will naturally, upon recognizing this fact, recognizing this situation, we will inquire into how we can find solutions. And so, he found a solution, and now he's presenting it in front of us. And he's saying that another thing he realized is that there is these two distinct things. One is believing on the basis of knowing, which he feels like he has seen something, he has understood something, he knows something, and therefore he accepts that to be the truth. That leads to something called confidence. And in the absence of that, what happens is that there is no vacancy, there is no absence of belief, or there is no absence of acceptance. So we always have something accepted, but the distinction becomes that we have nothing to base it on, no evidence or knowledge or understanding to base our belief on. And that is what is called faith. So what we all strive towards is confidence, but what we are all in right now is faith. And as soon as we recognize this difference, we become involved, we all become motivated as soon as we recognize this distinction to move towards confidence instead of faith, because that is what we all desire. So this is the point that we had ended on yesterday. We can resume from there.
मानने की प्रक्रिया में हम संलग्न रहें, ये शायद है सर्वमानव में घर किया है.
Once we recognize this distinction, we might all become dedicated and involved in the process of understanding and finding confidence. This has probably been registered with, or this can probably touch all humans, this fact.
अकेले में नहीं है, मेरे अकेले में ये चीज नहीं है. मैं समझता हूँ सर्वमानव में ये घर किया है.
This is not something true for just me alone. I believe that this is something that is true for and will touch all of humankind. Resonate with. I think घर किया है could be translated to resonate with.
तो ये अपेक्षा पूरा कैसा हो भाई? तो हम कहीं भी जाते हैं, किसी भी परिवार में शुरू करते हैं शरीर यात्रा.
So how do we fulfill this expectation? Oh yes, yesterday we had also talked about this very ancient natural expectation in all humans. After a certain age, we anticipate and we expect that we have understood something, we have experienced something, and we do evaluate something. This is an age-old expectation in each individual. But how do we fulfill this expectation? So,
कहीं भी जाते हैं, किसी भी परिवार में शुरू करते हैं शरीर यात्रा, किसी भी समुदाय में जीवन यात्रा करते हैं, किसी शिक्षण संस्थान में जाते हैं, किसी राज्य संविधान के अंदर अर्पित रहते हैं.
So no matter which home we start in, which family we belong to, which educational system we are sent to, which national constitution we become affiliated with.
ये सब करते हुए हम कैसे इससे पार पाएं कि हमारे में तो वस्तु को जानने की बात, मानने की स्थिति कैसा है.
So while doing all this, how do we reach this stage where we have this need for understanding the real entities besides just believing in them?
तो वस्तु को जानने की बात, मानने की स्थिति कैसा है.
How do we reach this stage where we can understand something and thereupon believe in it?
यही धर्म संकट शायद है, मेरे साथ भी रहा है और आपके साथ भी है.
This is the major dharma sankat problem facing all of us. This is the same problem I face as is faced by you. The problem being that we all are born to certain traditions of belief and assurances and education, and yet none of them provide the way forward to lead towards understanding-based belief rather than belief not grounded in understanding. So how do we get past this while having grown up in such traditions?
तो कोई ना कोई तो इसमें आदमी ही इसमें पार पाने की बात है, और कोई ना लकड़ी पार पाता है, ना आकाश पार पाता है.
So naturally, this is to overcome this, it would have to be a human who does that. It is not going to be any stick that overcomes this or any water body that overcomes this. It will have to be a human being.
ना कोई पक्षी, चिड़ैया, जीव, जानवर,
any bird
कोई
or
पार
animal.
पाने पर हम पार जाएंगे, ऐसा कोई चीज होता नहीं है. कोई मनुष्य को ही इसमें ध्रुवीकृत होने की
So he was saying that this overcoming has to be done by humans and it won't be done by sticks or water or plants or animals or birds. It's overcoming this traditional barrier because we need to understand before accepting.
कोई चीज होता नहीं है. कोई मनुष्य को ही इसमें ध्रुवीकृत होने की आवश्यकता थी, प्रमाणित होने की आवश्यकता थी और सत्यापित करने की आवश्यकता थी.
It was only humans who needed to be anchored in this, to evidence this, and to declare this, to be able to declare this, that we are confident that we have this, our acceptances are grounded in understanding. That's what he's talking.
यही मेरे अनुसार पूरा का पूरा चीज आती है.
This is, according to me, what the entire picture is.
वो एक प्रकार से अंधे की गोला जैसा ही बात है. ये हम केवल हवा में हाथ मारने वाली ही बात रही. इसके बावजूद भी अस्तित्व में संपूर्ण वस्तु विद्यमान है. हम जिस बात के लिए खोज निकलते हैं वो चीज से हमारा मुकाबला हो.
So this is, according to me, something like अंधे की something.
रही. इसके बात है ये करने की आवश्यकता थी. यही मेरे अनुसार पूरा का पूरा चीज आती है. वो एक प्रकार से अंधे की गोला जैसा ही बात.
This is in one way something like a blind man's testimony.
बात है ये हम केवल हवा में हाथ मारने वाली ही बात रही. इसके बावजूद भी अस्तित्व में संपूर्ण वस्तु विद्यमान है. हम जिस
We have only been, grasping at the air. He's saying, हवा में हाथ मारना is like trying to catch something in the air, basically. Grasping at straws, trying to figure out something that you can't really see. However, what reality has always existed as it is.
रही. इसके बावजूद भी अस्तित्व में संपूर्ण वस्तु विद्यमान है. हम जिस बात के लिए खोज निकलते हैं वो चीज से हमारा मुकाबला हो ही जाता.
So despite all of this, all entities are present in existence, and whatever we venture forth to search for, we end up encountering it eventually.
ऐसा मेरे साथ तो घटना जो कुछ भी हुई उसका सत्यापन यही बनता है.
In this way, at least the kind of events that transpired for me, this is the kind of declaration I can make regarding the events that transpired for me.
मेरा जो प्रश्न थी उसका उत्तर अस्तित्व में थी. यदि अस्तित्व में यदि उत्तर नहीं है प्रश्न भी नहीं होना था.
The question that I had an answer to it that existed in existence. Had the answer not existed, then the question would not have existed either.
प्रश्न होता है, इसका उत्तर अस्तित्व में है ही है.
If there is a question, then there is necessarily an answer for that in existence.
इसी आधार पर मेरा जो कुछ भी मैंने प्रयत्न हुई उसी ओर काम किया. फलस्वरूप उसको हम पा गए.
On this basis, all the attempts that I made, I worked in the direction of my questions, and therefore I was able to overcome my question. I was able to find my answer.
हम उत्तर पा गए। इस उत्तर के साथ यह समाहित है, हम पूरा जीवन की 10 क्रियाओं को हम प्रमाणित करते हैं।
Along with this answer, it is स्वाभाविक or प्रमाणित that it is natural that I evidence all 10 activities of the जीवन।
है, हम पूरा जीवन की 10 क्रियाओं को हम प्रमाणित करते हैं। मैं करता ही हूँ और मेरे साथ आप सब इस 10 क्रियाओं को प्रमाणित कर सकते हैं।
So I already do it, and along with me, all of you too can evidence all 10 activities along with me.
ये मेरा मैंने एक उत्साहवर्धक कार्यक्रम का आधार है और
This is that is to say, the basis for my encouraging program, basis for this program, which is very encouraging.
सार्थक कार्यक्रम की ओर दिशा है। सार्थकता का मतलब क्या है? हम
It is a direction towards meaningfulness. Now, what does meaningfulness mean?
प्रामाणिकता को प्रमाणित करना।
Meaningfulness is evidencing authenticity. It's really confusing in Hindi because pramanikta is and pramanit karna, they sound very similar, but actually even authenticity and evidencing, they're actually very similar in their meaning, because being authentic means being evidence-based. And so evidencing authenticity means evidencing evidence-basedness, which is what is being said in Hindi. Pramanikta ko pramanit karna.
प्रामाणिकता 10 क्रियाओं के साथ होती है, यह 4.5 क्रियाओं के साथ होता नहीं।
Authenticity happens only with all 10 activities. It cannot happen, it does not happen within 4.5 activities.
मुख्य बात ये
That is a major point.
संवेदनशीलता शरीर को केंद्र में रख करके ही, माने इंद्रियों को केंद्र में रख करके ही, इंद्रियों की संतुष्टि को केंद्र में रख के ही संवेदनशील विधि से आदमी अपने प्रवृत्तियों को बनाता है।
Sensitivity keeps senses and sensations at the core, keeps the bodily functioning at the core, and develops the human tendencies, keeping these bodily sensations at the core. I just want to say something.
संवेदनशीलता शरीर को केंद्र में रख करके ही, माने इंद्रियों को केंद्र में रख करके ही, इंद्रियों की संतुष्टि को केंद्र में रख के ही।
So keeping the body at the core, the senses at the core, sensations at the core, and sensory satisfaction at the core. That is what sensitivity does, and that is how it develops human
संवेदनशील विधि
tendencies
से आदमी अपने
in this
प्रवृत्तियों को बनाता है।
sensitive manner.
ये
So this is a manner of sensitivity.
एक बहुत ही सुदृढ़ बात है। ये भय और प्रलोभन के चक्कर में सदा घूमता हुआ हम भी देखे हैं, आप भी देख सकते हैं।
This is a very definite fact that this remains involved in this vicious cycle of fear and greed. That is something that I have also witnessed, and so have you.
अब इसके स्थान पर मूल्य और मूल्यांकन के जगह में होने की बात प्रस्तावित है।
Now, in place of this, there is this proposal for the manner of values and evaluation. So one was developing tendencies, our human individual tendencies, through this manner of sensitivity, which is only going to be through fear and greed. And then the alternative that we develop our personality, develop our tendencies by way of this manner of values and evaluation.
ये कैसे आएगी? इसके लिए
How will
यही
this
होना,
come?
अस्तित्व को सहज रूप में, व्यवस्था के रूप में समझ पाना।
So how will this come? For this, it is just that we must understand existence naturally as a natural in the form of a natural order.
कैसे समझ में आएगी? क्योंकि एक दूसरे के पहचान और निर्वाह। तो पहले आपको
How will this be understood?
बताएगी, क्योंकि एक दूसरे के पहचान और निर्वाह।
Because there is a recognition of each other and a corresponding response. So pehchan and nirvaha, these are the first two of that pehchanna nirvaha karna. Janna, manna, pehchanna, nirvaha karna. Those four that we had done, no? Knowing, accepting, recognition, and response. So all of existence is an order. Rest of nature is orderly based on recognition and response.
तो पहले आपको बताया था जो कुछ
Sorry,
भी
I
एक
had
परमाणु
mentioned.
अंश जितने भी हैं एक दूसरे को पहचानते हैं, निश्चित कार्य करने के लिए एक दूसरे के साथ तत्पर होते हैं और परमाणु के रूप में अपने आचरण को, निश्चित आचरण को, दृढ़ आचरण को बिना किसी हिलडुल के।
So earlier I had already mentioned that all these subatomic particles, they recognize each other, and on the basis of that, they perform these definite programs, these definite conducts and activities.
निश्चित के साथ तत्पर होते हैं, पहचानते हैं, निश्चित कार्य करने के लिए एक दूसरे के साथ तत्पर होते हैं।
So they recognize each other and therefore become dedicated to performing a definite program with each other, in which
और परमाणु के रूप में अपने आचरण को, निश्चित आचरण को, दृढ़
they express their definite conduct, their stable conduct in the form of an atom, a conduct which is not going to change.
आचरण को बिना किसी हिलडुल के आचरण को प्रस्तुत करते हैं।
बिना किसी हिलडुल के, without having any change, without having any back and forth, basically. Eventually it will change, but for a definite period of time, there is a definite stable conduct of an atom. So an atom of oxygen or an atom of hydrogen will stably behave like oxygen and hydrogen. All the subatomic particles have together recognized each other and bought into this program of acting as hydrogen or oxygen.
फलस्वरूप व्यवस्था में होना।
It also means even when they change according to the fixed rules, like their conduct is regulated. It is following a certain niyam. So that's why like they change, but all follow a certain fixed जानना and पहचानना, पहचानना and निर्वाह करना वाला pattern.
Yeah. So over here, so when I said change, I meant that every atom which is not a complete atom, the conscious atom, eventually changes from whatever atom it was to some other atom. So, heavier atoms we already recognize, they eventually decay to form isotopes. So radioactive atoms, so heavy atom will break down into two lighter atoms. But even the lighter atoms, after a very, very long time, they will combine to form heavier atoms. So in that way, but even that forming, composing, fusion, all that is also going to follow, as you're saying, a definite law. That's still following their definite nature, because we know that uranium always breaks down to form lead and something else. Similarly, oxygen will always fuse to form some particular compounds that I'm not aware of, and neither is science. Actually, they're not very sure how the principles of these fusions, but that's what he's saying, that basically they'll follow a lawful conduct very stably. Even if there's change, there will be a stable rule following.
Yeah.
हमें अनुभव होता है, चरण को प्रस्तुत करते हैं। फलस्वरूप व्यवस्था में होना हमें अनुभव होता है।
So in this way they present this definite and stable conduct, and we are able to experience this, therefore, as them being orderly. them being in order.
उसी भांति अणुएं यदि कई परमाणुएं मिलकर के अणु बनाते हैं तो ये भी एक सहअस्तित्व का ही प्रवृत्ति है। सहअस्तित्व में
In the same way, several atoms come together to form molecules, and this is also a natural tendency of coexistence.
अपने को प्रमाणित करने की क्रम में है एक परमाणु अणु के रूप में एक दूसरे परमाणु को पहचानते हुए एक अणु के
So, in the course of coexistence evidencing itself, several atoms come together and upon recognizing each other form a molecule
रूप में व्यवस्था के रूप में होते हैं।
in the form of
इसको
an
भी
order.
मैंने
That
अच्छी
is
तरह
also
से
an
देखा
order.
है।
This is also something that I have seen very clearly.
ऐसे अणुएं सब मिलकर के बड़े बड़े रचना के रूप में होते हैं।
So such molecules come together in the form of very large structures, atomic structures, molecular structures, molecular compositions.
विज्ञानी अज्ञानी ज्ञानी सभी लोग देखते हैं।
That are seen by scientists, lay people, as well as Jnani, Vijnani, Ajnani is easier to recognize in Hindi, but he's talking about so scientists, the wise people, so spiritual people holding spiritual wisdom, that is what he's calling Jnani, and then lay people who hold neither specialized scientific knowledge nor spiritual wisdom are considered lay people. So all such people, all such categories of people, be it a scientist, some wise, spiritual, intellectual, or a lay person, all such categories of people are able to see these molecular compositions and
जैसा
the order they present.
ग्रह गोल होते हैं, ये धरती होता है, सूरज होता है, चांद होता है, ऐसे बड़े बड़े ग्रह गोलों को हर व्यक्ति देखता है।
Such as these planets, these extraterrestrial planets, extraterrestrial bodies, our Earth, the moon and the sun, all such large molecular compositions are visible to every individual.
ये सबके मूल में क्या चीज है, इसको मैंने ये देखा है, सह अस्तित्व को प्रमाणित करना ही है।
What is at the root of all of these? That is something that I have seen. At the root of all of these is nothing but evidencing coexistence itself.
सह अस्तित्व को प्रमाणित करने की क्रम में ही और शुद्ध रूप यही है, सभी एक एक वस्तु अपने में ऊर्जा संपन्न रहना ही है।
And it is in this course of evidencing coexistence itself that each unitary entity, संपूर्ण एक एक वस्तु, remains energized in itself. So every single unitary entity of nature is energized.
ऊर्जा संपन्न रहने का ही ये अनुपम अभिव्यक्ति है। सभी परमाणु अपने में और सभी अणु अपने में, हर परमाणु अंश अपने में व्यवस्था के ओर उन्मुख होना देखा गया है।
And this is this beautiful expression. It is the beautiful expression of this energized nature of each entity itself that we see that every single atom, every single molecule, every single subatomic particle is directed towards order. So it is by virtue of being energized that everything is directed towards order and stability and definiteness.
यही मुख्य बात है जो मानव के लिए अनुप्राणित करने के लिए, प्रेरित करने के लिए मुख्य मुद्दा है।
This is the a major point for motivating humans for क्या करने के लिए?
मानव के लिए अनुप्राणित करने के लिए, प्रेरित करने के लिए मुख्य मुद्दा
This is the major issue for motivating humans, for inspiring humans.
Rita, what is
Hmm?
Anupranit? He said, na, something?
Yeah, Anupranit, I think the closest translation I can think of is motivate. But let me see what the
Like,
complete.
putting life, like, live.
Yeah, to enliven in that inspire. Yeah, it's inspire. So it's close enough to prerna because Anupranit means Anu is according to and Pranit is to enliven. So enliven accordingly enliven in the direction of.
Okay.
So this is the issue, major issue for that can motivate humans and inspire humans because what he's saying is that all of nature, by virtue of being in coexistence, is energized, and by virtue of being energized, is directed towards orderliness. That is true for all entities. And so, on recognizing this, we should also see that even we are part of this coexistence, and therefore, this is also what we desire and what we want to move towards. That will be the point of fulfillment even for us.
Yeah.
इस मुद्दे पर मेरे अनुमान ऐसा है तो हर ज्ञानी को भी इसकी आवश्यकता है, हर अज्ञानी को भी आवश्यकता है, हर विज्ञानी को भी सहअस्तित्ववादी मानसिकता की आवश्यकता है.
And on this issue, I believe that every lay person also needs this, every scientist also needs this, and every wise person also needs this. All humans need this sort of coexistential mentality.
इस मानसिकता के साथ ही हम मानव बन सकते हैं. मानव से कम में हमारा कोई ऐश्वर्य उदय होने वाला नहीं है.
And it is only with such a mentality that we can truly become human. And before becoming truly human, there is
मानव से कम में हमारा कोई ऐश्वर्य उदय होने वाला नहीं है.
Aishwarya. I always forget how one can translate this.
Glory.
Something like that. Yeah. Dominion, majesty. Yeah, glory, grandeur, majesty. So yeah, there is no grandeur or majesty that is possible for us in anything less than becoming human. And then he had already said that becoming human is only possible with such a coexistential mentality. And what is this coexistential mentality? It is this mentality that all of existence is an order. Everything is motivated towards orderliness. And this orderliness means recognizing each other, complementing each other, and coming together in a stable program with each other. So this is the mentality that we also need to recognize and adopt and understand. And only then can we become human. And only then, upon becoming such human, can we manifest any of our innate sort of grandeur.
मानव से अधिक यदि कुछ होता है तो देव मानव ही होता है, दिव्य मानव ही होता है. इसके बारे
And if there is anything greater than human, then that is only Dev human and Divya human. And there are rough translations for each. Dev is something like a deity who helps others. You know, these are conjectured. In tradition, Dev is a word used for these gods who help people. Not like that omnipresent God that people talk about, but the particular deities that people talk about. Oh, you know, so and so will help me achieve this, so and so will help me do that. That sort of God. So you could say, you could translate these humans as godly humans or or angelic humans or saintly humans or something like that. Basically, those who help other humans. And remember, in his wish, his longing that he had begun with also, he had hoped that may humans become God, may earth become heaven, and may humans become God. So this is what he meant by God, not any sort of supernatural power, but the fact that humans become the benevolent, compassionate, and guardian-like preservers of coexistential harmony for other humans as well as for nature. So he says, if there is anything greater than humans, it can only be godly humans or saintly humans, and then divine humans, Divya Manav. Dev Manav and Divya Manav. So he's classified the human categories into three parts: human, godly humans, and divine humans. And these are rough translations, of course. But I hope, are you getting the gist of these three terms?
Like broadly, what I get is like when you have achieved a lot of compassion, benevolence in you, and then your behavior, that's like helping other people is very big part of your life. Then it's an elevated human in a way.
Yeah, basic. Exactly. So basic human
Yeah, like an evolved
is,
person.
yeah. So first is this basic humaneness, when which you become, orderly in your being. That is basic human, minimum. But then, of course, you can always go beyond that and be more evolved, where a major part of your activity is kindness and benevolence and compassion for the rest of existence. So there'll be more details on this eventually.
बारे में आगे और अच्छी ढंग से चर्चा करेंगे और समझने की
Regarding this, we will further discuss this in greater detail in a better way.
की कोशिश करेंगे। मैं समझता हूँ हर व्यक्ति समझ भी सकता है, जीवन में चरितार्थ भी कर सकता है।
I believe that every individual can both understand as well as embody it in their lives.
ये सहअस्तित्व की महिमा एक परमाणु अंश से चलकर एक ग्रहगोलों तक ये स्पष्ट है।
So this significance of coexistence from the smallest subatomic particle to the greatest largest planet of planetary body has been clarified in this way.
उसी क्रम में आगे चलकर के जितने भी हमारे सम्मुख स्थित जंगल है, पहाड़ है, ये भी जितने भी खनिज हैं, ये भी अपने में आपसी में सह अस्तित्व के आधार पर ही और अपना वैभव को प्रस्तुत करते हैं।
In the same sequence, all these mountains and rivers and forests that are before us, these two are all together expressing themselves in the form of coexistence.
अस्तित्व के आधार पर ही और अपना वैभव को प्रस्तुत करते हैं।
They also present themselves in the form of coexistence.
सहअस्तित्व के आधार पर ही लोहा भी अपने वैभव को और एक झाड़ भी और तुलसी झाड़ भी, दूब भी अपने वैभव को और एक बाघ भी, एक गाय भी अपने वैभव।
Let me just look up the word Vaibhav again. I forgot the exact translation. Majesty again. So yeah, it's because these words are very similar. Mahima, Vaibhav, Aishwarya. So I keep getting confused which one I use for which. So he's saying basically that all entities, whether they're mountains or rivers or forests or a metal like iron or a tree, a plant, a tiger, a cow, all of these are expressing their majesty in the form of coexistence.
को प्रकाशित कर दिया है। सहअस्तित्व विधि से ही ये सब संरक्षित हैं।
How he says it is that they are illuminating coexistence through their conduct. Earlier also, I think I forgot to translate this somewhere. He's saying that every entity is illuminated in the form of coexistence. So this is a way of saying, putting things, a perspective that he brings about quite a few times, that everything is illuminated. We just need to start looking for it and looking at it. So yes, everything is illuminated. It is expressing itself in the form of coexistence.
प्रकाशित कर दिया है। सहअस्तित्व विधि से ही ये सब संरक्षित हैं। सहअस्तित्व नहीं होता, किसी को भी संरक्षण मिलना ही नहीं था।
And it is through this coexistential manner itself that all of these are preserved or conserved. Had there been no coexistence, none of these could have been preserved, which is a very interesting line for me, because I feel like it addresses the question of, that scientists have been dabbling with, about how there is, how does evolution happen? And it might be a chance one-time event, but how does something sustain? How do entities that have evolved sustain over long periods of time?
तो इसका मूल तत्व यही है, असत्ता में अर्थात व्यापक वस्तु में हर एक वस्तु संरक्षित, नियंत्रित, ऊर्जा संपन्न है।
So it's fundamental.
Last line, what you said is very important to you. You were saying in the background, some sudden noise came in.
Oh, okay.
So-
He had said that it is only in coexistence that each entity is also conserved, is preserved. So it is only thanks to coexistence. Otherwise, had there been no coexistence, nothing could have been preserved.
Understood. In a way, like complement each other only again, right? For once, existence other is important if required. If it wasn't there, then I think that's what it's trying to say.
Right. So what does coexistence mean? It means that everything is complementing each other. So if something changes in one entity, everything around it, which is, connected to it, recognizes that the state has changed and also adjusts accordingly. So things are constantly adjusting with each other, and therefore the whole system is preserved and conserved. Otherwise, if something changed, then everything would collapse, and things do change because situations change. So in that way, our all of these entities that have been named remain preserved thanks to coexistence.
तो इसका मूल तत्व यही है, असत्ता में अर्थात व्यापक वस्तु में हर एक वस्तु संरक्षित, नियंत्रित, ऊर्जा संपन्न है।
So the fundamental fact of this is that all entities, thanks by virtue of being within this omnipresent, omnipotence, are energized, are regulated, and are conserved. So these are three things: urjit, niyantrit, sanrakshit. Energized, regulated, and conserved, secured. This is all thanks to being, all by virtue of being saturated in this omnipresent, omnipotence.
इन तीनों मुद्दा हर व्यक्ति को समझ में आना चाहिए। उसी क्रम में मानव भी ऊर्जा संपन्न है।
So all three of these issues are things that every human must understand, and in the same sequence, humans too are conserved, are preserved.
शरीर के रूप में जो ऊर्जा संपन्नता है, तो प्राणकोशा के रूप में कार्यरत हैं, वो उनका सीमावत नहीं है, जैसा झाड़ों में।
So we can see that even at the level of the body, we are energized. In the same way, that cells are energized. Let's listen to this again.
शरीर के रूप में जो ऊर्जा संपन्नता है तो प्राण कोशा के रूप में कार्यरत हैं, वो उनका सीमावत नहीं है। जैसे
So it is energized in the form of the body, in that it is active in the form of cells, and that is its limit also. The limit of the body is that it is energized at the level of cells, at the cellular level. And functional at the
झाड़ों में
cellular
होता
level.
है, जीव
Just
शरीरों
like it
में
is
होता है,
in
वैसे ही
plants
मानव
and
शरीर
in
में भी
animal
प्राण
body.
कोशाएं वो उतने दूर तक काम करते हैं।
Similarly, in the human body also, cells, human body cells also function in the same way with the same limits as those other cells.
इसको देखा गया है, इसमें भी सहअस्तित्व ही वैभव है। ये
In this also, it is coexistence itself that is manifest.
एक कोशा के साथ दूसरा कोशा का सहअस्तित्व ही है निश्चित रचना को रचित।
It is the coexistence of one cell with another cell, with the other cells, that leads to the composition of a larger composite structure.
रचना रचित कर पाते हैं। ये रचना करने की विधि जो बनती है वो प्राण कोशा में निहित प्राण सूत्र में निहित रहता है।
And the manner, the method in which such larger compositions are created is innate, is present inherently within the pran sutra, is the genetic material within the cells themselves.
उसका नाम है रचना विधि। ये
And this process is called the method of composition. Method of composition.
रचना विधि में निरंतर एक शोध होती रहती है। फलस्वरूप इसका गवाही है अनेक प्रकार की जो रचनाएं हमारे सम्मुख खड़ी है।
And in this composition method, there are constant, what was the word for shod? Not the other word besides inquiry. Basically, a search for better. I've used these two words, anusandhan and experience. Investigation, exploration. Yes, exploration. So even in this compository method, this method of composition, there is a continuous exploration that is taking place, and the testimony to that are the various signs of compositions that we can see that have emerged.
गवाही है अनेक प्रकार की जो रचनाएं हमारे सम्मुख खड़ी है। इस गवाही के साथ हम इसमें आश्वस्त हो पाते हैं तो प्राण सूत्र में भी शोध कार्य है और परमाणु अंश में भी शोध कार्य है।
And thanks to this testimony, we can become assured that there is this tendency for exploration even in this genetic material. There is a tendency for exploration even in the subatomic particles and the atoms.
तो वही कार्य मनुष्य में भी एक शोध कार्य की स्रोत होना हम देख पाते हैं।
And the same, therefore, the same activity we can find even in humans, this activity of exploring.
मनुष्य का शोध कार्य का स्रोत है तो कल्पनाशीलता, कर्म स्वतंत्रता पहले बात।
Now, the source of the exploration in humans is the human imagination and free will. That's the first point.
उसके बाद जो बनती है, जो उनका विचार शक्ति, इच्छा शक्ति, संकल्प शक्ति और ये सभी शक्तियां अपने आप में अनुसंधान करने के लिए, शोध करने के लिए तत्पर रहते हैं।
Now, after that, what evolves and develops are their the power of thought, their power of desire, their power of resolve or determination. All of these then become involved in this process of exploration or inquiry.
इन तत्परता के साथ ही तो इन 10 क्रियाओं के साथ जीने वाली क्रिया और जीने वाली वैभव, जीने वाली संपदा, जीने वाली जो वैभव है, ये प्रमाणित हो पाता है। इन 10 क्रियाओं में मुख्य मुद्दा यही है जो अनुभव होना, अनुभव मूलक होना।
And I have to listen to that as well.
अपने आप में अनुसंधान करने के लिए, शोध करने के लिए तत्पर रहते हैं। इन तत्परता के साथ ही तो इन 10 क्रियाओं के साथ जीने वाली क्रिया और जीने वाली वैभव, जीने वाली संपदा, जीने वाली जो वैभव है, ये
So, in this way, upon becoming dedicated towards this inquiry and exploration itself, do all the 10 activities become sentence
प्रमाणित हो पाता है।
Do all these 10 activities are all these 10 activities capable of evidencing themselves in the form of the activity of living, the content of living in the form of sampada, जीने वाली क्रिया, जीने वाली संपदा, जीने वाली something.
रहते हैं। इन तत्परता के साथ ही तो इन 10 क्रियाओं के साथ जीने वाली क्रिया और जीने वाली वैभव, जीने वाली संपदा, जीने वाली जो वैभव है, ये प्रमाणित हो पाता है।
So it is with this dedication for inquiry and exploration that all these 10 activities are able to evidence themselves in the form of the activity of living, in the content or the resource for living, and in the majesty of living. Because they are doing this
इन
inquiry.
10 क्रियाओं में मुख्य मुद्दा यही है जो अनुभव होना।
And in these 10 activities, the central issue is to experience
अनुभव मूलक होना। दो
and to be experience rooted.
कोई विधि है समय इंद्रिय सन्निकर्ष मूलक संवेदनशील पद्धति से जी पाना, वो अभी तक हो चुकी है। दूसरा अनुभव मूलक विधि से जी पाना।
There are only 2 ways of living. The first is to live according to the sensory, indriya sannikarsh is by sensory satisfaction. The first method is through sensory satisfaction that has already been evident in the current system. And the only other alternate is to live rooted in experience. That needs to be achieved. So I think we can pause here and we'll start from this point tomorrow because he's going to talk about these two.
Tuesday.
Okay. Tomorrow nahi, tomorrow.
Next time. Tuesday. Yeah.
How about tomorrow? ठीक है.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Today's was
Thank
very
you.
rigmarole. I need a paper and pen and write it all down, I think.
Yeah.
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 ठीक है. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Prachi.
Bye.